myself a little bit without talking about Wrax quite yet. So I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've owned, I think, like 6 businesses, 7. I can't remember. I have to like count them. I've never really done that. But the one that was my baby was a liquor store. I owned a liquor store for 18 years. I sold a liquor store, a laundromat, and an Airbnb in 2021 to go all in on Wrax because that's how much I believe in it. I'm really excited about the potential. I'm super excited about the things that are already happening, and I'm very excited about the things that are coming up. And I'm excited for you guys to be able to hear about it here in just a second when we get this thing started.
I'm up here.
Okay, so we're gonna go, if you don't mind, I'll
Full screen with the button, right? Yes.
okay, so, I created Wrax. We're gonna talk about boobs today.
Yay!
So I keep boobs from bouncing. That's what I do. I created Wrax because I needed it. I'm an athlete. I love to run. I love high dynamic workouts. I'm a volleyball player. Lots of jumping, lots of movement. And when you are running or you're playing a sport and you have larger breasts, you don't get to move your body as freely as you'd like to. It's very limiting. It's limiting physically. It can be limiting emotionally and mentally for women. And I got tired of having to wear 2 and 3 sports bras and still bouncing. This idea has been in my mind for years, like a very long time. I don't know how many miles I put in, how many steps I put in on my runs that I would be like, why don't they just keep something that keeps them from coming up? Why don't they make something that holds the breast down? Because if they don't come up, they can't come back down. So that's what Wrax does. I'm gonna have to go kind of just over here to shift to pages since I can't use the clicker. So traditional sports bras attempt to and fail at preventing bouncing by one of 2 ways. They attempt to prevent bouncing by either being tighter with compression or by cinching the breast higher. And I don't know if, sorry guys if this is awkward for you, but sometimes bras you can see in the top corner there, they lift higher. And what happens with that is it can help reduce the bounce a little bit, but what ends up happening is there's additional pressure on the shoulders. And women that have larger breasts, I'm telling you, they are tired of having the weight of their breasts carried on their shoulders. There are women that have literal and permanent indentions on their shoulders. So what's really special about Wrax is it just redistributes the work to the band. So the straps that go over the shoulders can actually be really loose. I mean, they're really just kind of there to kind of hold things in place. So that's definitely feedback I'm getting.
The clicker should work now.
What's that?
The clicker should work.
Oh, that's feedback I'm getting that women have really loved. So what Wrax does is it prevents upward and lateral movement of the breast. So you can see here with the competitive advantage, that's one thing that we have that no other sports bra that's currently on the market does. No other sports bra that's on the market eliminates upward or lateral movement. The versatility that we have is really special too because you can wear Wrax under or over a shirt. So I have one customer that's really loving that she can put it on over her shirt because she wears it for her horseback riding lessons. So when she goes to a lesson, she just puts it on over her shirt. She finishes her lesson, she takes it off. She doesn't have to excuse herself, go find a restroom, change her gear. It's simple in that way. So we've already talked about the shoulder relief. And then the adjustability is really special too. So no woman's body is perfectly symmetrical, yet all sports bras are until now. So Wrax is adjustable over either shoulder independently and over either breast. So that makes us very special. No other sports bra does that. So this is gonna be our target market, our market analysis. I thought this was a really interesting stat. 75% of American women wear a size 34 double D or larger. So that's a big market for me. According to the Running USA, race participation has increased 16% from 2021 to 2022, and that's continuing to rise. A lot of people are getting involved in more 5Ks, more half marathons and marathons. A lot of training is happening. 54% increase in breast reduction surgeries. So I think that's a really great market for me as well. Women who are transitioning from having really large breasts and reducing don't generally go from a really large breast down to like a B cup or an A cup. That doesn't happen. They're still going to have larger breasts and they're still going to need support. And generally when they're making that kind of a change in their life, they're wanting to become more active, so they're going to need the gear that's going to help them do that. And then breast augmentation is also going up. So those are definitely some of our target market clients as well. So you can see in the United States, there's 4.8 million runners in the United States, and I've just kind of taken that down to my market. So I'm from Kansas City area. In the Kansas City area alone, we're looking at 61,000 women who are runners. So if we take 61,000, I'm so sorry, actually, I think I have that wrong. In the Kansas City market, we have 162,000 runners. If we take that 75% of the double D or higher, then we've got a target of 61,000 in just the Kansas City area. And so we've done the same thing there with augmentation and reduction surgeries and in the equestrian market. So our strategy, our market go-to-market strategy is going to be e-commerce. I also do in-person events, so I like to go to 5Ks. I love to show up at gyms, set up, vending, any type of vending opportunities I can show up at. I would love to be connected to any of those types of opportunities. I'll be in the Bass Pro, gosh, what is it? It's a big running event. I'm really excited about that one. I was supposed to go last year. I wasn't able to go because I was in Barcelona, Spain with my son. He had surgery in Barcelona, Spain. It's the only place in the world that does the surgery my son needed. So that became a priority. So I missed the opportunity at Bass Pro last year, but I'll be going this year. So something that I'd like to ask the community, and I know we're going to get to that with how you guys can help and be asking me questions and stuff, but just go ahead and start getting it kind of flowing in your mind. I think the thing that would make the biggest difference for me in my business right now is connections to influencers. So what's different about Wrax is, I've already told you what's different about it. I'm happy to give a demo too, and ladies, if you guys want to put this on and actually experience for yourself what it's like, I would love for you to. It's such a new way of approaching an age-old problem that sometimes women look at it and they're like kind of intimidated by it, quite frankly. And I think that seeing someone they already know, like, and trust on the influencer platform would be a really great way for me to help just increase awareness, because I think women who could use my product simply don't know it exists. So that's kind of the biggest problem I'm facing right now, is just lack of awareness. I put this profile on here for a reason. I'm not going to talk about it on camera, but if anybody wants to discuss why I put this one on here when we're not recording anymore, I'd be happy to. It's hilarious. It's going to be a good thing for me. This person has definitely gone viral. I don't know that her followers are necessarily my target market, but just the possibility of the viral, like going viral and the exposure, I think is going to be really great for the brand. So I just basically on the go-to-market strategy, I just used some metrics that I was given. She's got 3.67 thousand followers. So if 10% of those people went to my website and my website was a 2% conversion, if she posted one time, I could generate $9,000 in revenue from that post. So that's why I think influencer marketing is going to be the way to go, because it needs to be communicated what this is, how well it works. Because people look at it sometimes and they're like, but is it comfortable? It's an experiential thing, and it's hard to sell an experiential product on an e-commerce platform, something that's brand new to the world that's literally never existed. So I'll move on here. So this is just a timeline when we started. So it started development with Made Apparel in Seattle, Washington in October of 2021, and it took a while. So what we did was I kind of had a conversation with her, told her what my idea was, and started to send her some sketches, and she, questioned me, and we had some conversations about what we could do. I sent her some material, sourced some material. She made the first one and sent it to me, mailed it back to me. So there's all the just the mailing products back and forth took a while. She mailed the first one to me and I put it on. I did the Shaun T Insanity workout. Anybody else in the room ever done that?
Oh man.
It's an awesome workout. Like
nice.
It'll kick your butt. It's a great workout, but I destroyed that first product in like 30 seconds. It burst. I was so upset. I was like nearly in tears. So I contacted her. I was like, oh man, it's not gonna work. I busted it. And she was like, no, that's great. Tell me exactly what happened. So we made some adjustments. She sent me a second one. I went out for a run. I ran probably a couple of miles, and I live way out in the country. My nearest neighbor's like a mile away, so I'm running up and down the driveway. And like I said, you can wear this over or under a shirt. I was just out there. You put over, by the way, you wear something under it. Might have wondered about that. So you can put this on over any sports bra you already have. You can put it on over a tank top. You can really put it on over anything. But This is just the way it has to be done, but I took the product off after I ran a couple miles and just kind of hung it over the gate. And so then I was just wearing the sports bra I would normally wear. I'm telling you, I didn't make it 100 yards. I was like, oh my God, get it back on my body. But also, it was probably the most excited I've been through this whole project because it was like, it works. Like, not only does it just a little bit work, it really works. So that was kind of a fun moment. So we launched a product last summer. We currently have 3 wholesale accounts. We're in a running store in Wichita, a couple of tack shops. So I'm definitely looking to have more conversations with specialty running stores. I think that's going to be a really great place for us to be. This is my team. So this is me. I kind of told you guys I've owned several businesses over the years. I don't know how to do anything else. I've tried to have like a normal job and I hated it. Laura Treese is with Fashion Tech KC. She's in charge of production, and I already mentioned Heather. She's in Seattle. She was instrumental in the development of the product. And this is my favorite slide. These are some of the reviews. Hey. So this is why I'm saying I would love for you guys to actually put the product on if you have a moment and just kind of give it a bounce, because you'll definitely see immediately like what kind of a difference it can make. So this is what we have on the horizon. Actually, unfortunately this is like a little bit outdated because that podcast has already been released, The Small Business Mindset. I love to be on podcasts. If you guys know of anyone looking for guests, I would love some opportunities there. Events, I'm going to be at Blush Fitness in Lawrence and at a specialty running store in Wichita later this month. I'll be on Made Apparel podcast. We've already talked about the influencers. So the one that I had, you can see the top handle there. That's the one I'm going to talk about off camera. And we have a couple others that are kind of in the pipeline to post. And then what I'm massively excited about is we have the Kansas State University Kinesiology Department. It's going to do. That's why when I said I wanted to get up to 1 million cups in Manhattan, I want to line it up about the same time that I'm going to be up there with that project. But they're going to do a test on Wrax, and then the University of Memphis has the only breast biomechanics research lab in North America, and they're also doing a test on Wrax. So I'm massively excited about that because I can tell you experientially what happens is staggering, the difference. So to be able to have like actual scientific data that's going to be able to back up what I know is already happening, women are running faster, they're jumping higher. What happens is when you have a larger chest and you're an athlete, or even if you're not an athlete, you kind of tend to roll your shoulders forward, okay? And your foramen suffers, but also your dynamic, like you can't move your arms as well because you're kind of trying to create a smaller space here. So people try to sort of mitigate the bouncing by kind of being smaller up here. So what happens when you have Wrax on is it allows you to kind of stand up straighter. It's not uncommon at all for women to put this on and say, oh, it helps my posture. And I'm not making the medical claim that it helps posture. I'm just saying that's the feedback that I'm getting from users. And so for the University of Memphis to do this study, if they can prove that that's actually happening, that's going to be game changing for my business. But what happens is women can move their arms dynamically because they're no longer trying to use them to mitigate bouncing. So of course that translates into a higher performance. Running faster, jumping higher, and just feeling better all around. I don't know if it'll play, but I'm going to try it. Let me see if I can do it this way.
Wrax is like nothing you've ever tried before, and that's why you never moved before. Wrax is a harness designed to fit multiple shapes and sizes with 5 minutes of adjustability. Wrax holds you securely in place, allowing you to find movement without bounce. Our wire-free design conforms to your perfectly unique curves and shape. Find your strength and confidence with a straight Wrax. Enjoy the freedom to be you. Be a warrior with Wrax.
And that's my presentation. Anybody have any questions? All the questions.
Yeah.
people ask me that
I
a
was just gonna
lot.
say, you need to go
Yeah.
to Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And you get Lori Grenier on your team.
What's that?
Lori Grenier.
Yeah.
The-
Yeah, that gets brought up. I mean, I hear people say that probably. I think this week I've heard it like 8 times. So I've gone to the website to put the my information in, and I've gotten to the terms and conditions part, and I'm like, how many people get to that part of the process and you're like, yeah, click submit. Not for that. No, I'm gonna read those terms and conditions. I'm not gonna just flippantly, I'm gonna take my time, and to be honest, I'll probably use ChatGPT and interpret those terms and conditions for me so that I can understand it. But I do plan to do that at some point. So yeah. Any other questions about it? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're talking about influencer marketing.
Yeah.
Do you have TikTok shop and Instagram shop enabled for Wrax?
So I have a TikTok account. I have been told maybe that's not a great thing for me to do, and I'm like, I don't know how to say this. It's been communicated to me that could be risky,
Okay.
as far as kind of people ripping off the product and maybe duplicating it. So I am patent pending. The patent's been submitted, but I definitely want to protect my product, protect myself. So that's something that I.
Well, the reason I'm asking is not necessarily for you to advertise on TikTok, but for the influencer to be able to link your TikTok shop right in their post.
Okay.
So people aren't having to go to a separate website. Because what I'm afraid of I don't know if I should say afraid, what I'm thinking for consumer behavior is that if you're getting shoppers on TikTok and Instagram, but they have to go through a lot of clicks,
Right.
they lose interest and they're like, okay, I don't feel like going there. If they could click on the post and shop directly from the app they're already on, it'll probably translate to more sales
Okay.
than if they had to do a bunch of clicks, especially for people who you're marketing to on TikTok and
Yeah.
Instagram. But that's just, if you don't want to do that, I'm just thinking.
No, I mean, it's been brought to my, so I stopped posting on TikTok, but I'm also like, but if that's gonna happen, it's gonna happen if it's on TikTok or Instagram. It doesn't matter what the
Right.
social media channel is. I'm not gonna be able to stop it if that
Right.
happens. And it's been mentioned to me several times that I'm just simply not gonna be able to stop it.
Right.
So-
Well, that's kind of the, I think you're Austin back here.
Yeah, I'm the marketing guy.
Cause I understand what you said, but then I was like, they're gonna do that
They're
anyway.
gonna do it anyway,
Like,
because if you
Yeah,
see
so I
it
could be
in
missing
stores,
opportunities.
yeah.
I mean, it might just go to a wider market, but if you're selling them in stores,
Yeah.
what's stopping someone? And I
Right.
think, probably a lot of entrepreneurs go through that, and they're like, but it's my idea. And you're like, yeah, but it's a good one. So, I think sometimes that patent pending kind of makes some people pause
Right.
a little bit.
Right.
But
Maybe you wait until your patent is approved.
yeah,
It could be a long
Yeah, I
time.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
that's a,
It could be a long time.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna copy it one way or the other.
Right. I mean, that's what everybody says. Like, yeah. So it's just one of those things you kind of go back and forth in your head about as an entrepreneur, and it's like so many of the things, and I'm not trying to call you out specifically, but as far as marketing, I mean, that's like when Lowell and I were talking when I just arrived, like when you're the entrepreneur, you're the everything, and you're a solopreneur and you're trying to figure stuff out. And like I said, I've done all kinds of different businesses, but all the businesses I've ever had have been like brick and mortar in my own hometown. I've noticed a gap and I filled it, right? So the laundromat that was there for years, it closed, and then we didn't have a laundromat, and I already owned the building. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a laundromat in there. It was a dry county when I opened the liquor store. It was the first liquor store in the county, so that was like, I mean, hello, you put whiskey on a shelf in Lee County, Kansas, people are gonna show up. It doesn't require any marketing. It was easy. So seriously, easy. Laundromat, easy. Liquor store, easy. Like all of the things that I've done have been generally very easy as far as marketing goes. So this is like a totally different thing for me, and it's good that it's challenging me, but it's also wildly frustrating because I don't know how to do it. I need help. I'm not a marketing specialist. I have to put myself on camera in times and places I don't want to. It's a topic that's sensitive to some people. The level of vulnerability it takes to literally put a slow motion video of yourself jumping with and out without Wrax online for everyone to see. I'm willing to do it. I've done it, but it's like I don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Do you have a question?
So you saying that's immediately where my mind went, because your biggest issue is going to be customer education.
Yes.
And proving and showing.
Right. So I'm always telling people the two biggest issues I have are customer awareness and education.
And
That's
I
it.
think-
If I can figure those two things out,
I immediately see like Google ads and like Facebook ads, like a side-by-side GIF of whatever woman jumping up and down
Right.
with her face out of it, but jumping up and down without it, and then jumping up and down with it on. And I think that would be the biggest eye grabber, is seeing the amount of motion in one and the other.
Right.
And then the customer clicks on it, you have a landing page that, you know, breaks it
Right.
all down.
Do you have a website to buy on?
yeah, it's yeah, I have a website, and that's that's a thing too. It's like I've had lots of different feedback about the website, and it's like, well, you should do that. It depends on who you ask, So they're really, I mean, it's a very subjective topic, So you have to just basically test it. But I have a massively high close ratio when I speak in person. When I'm at like an event at 5K, women put it on and they're like, honestly, man, it's not uncommon for people to like, holy shit, like it's staggering the difference it makes. So they want to buy it.
What's the cost?
$125.
Okay.
Not bad.
$125.
to buy?
What's the life on it? How long should it
A
last?
long time. Like, so if you guys want to put your hands on this and touch it, like this elastic is heavy, like it's gonna last a long time. I do want to talk to you about this though real quick too. So we created Wrax first, and like I said, I've worn this over I've worn it over all my sports bras. Sports bras have all kinds of different strap systems and different styles and stuff. So I don't have sensitive skin, so it's not an issue for me, but I knew there would be women who wouldn't want the elastic touching their skin directly. So that's when I went ahead and did this too. So these paired together is perfect. So this is the Wrax Sports Tank. I'm actually we won't show her bare chest. But I'm gonna show you what makes this really special. So first of all, like I said, it's been made to ensure that none of the racks will directly touch the skin, but I've done something with this that no other sports bra company's ever done, and it blows my mind that no one's ever done it. I didn't patent this part because I want them to do it. It's like, hello, duh, are you like there? So this is the front of the product. Sorry, it's gotten a little dirty in the car and stuff. But what I did was I made the front of the product here longer than the back. Why has no one ever done that? Why is the front the same? Oh my God, it's just simple. It's like simple, smart solutions to a problem that's existed forever. So anyway, this is like super soft, yummy fabric. It wears more like a lounge bra. When you pair these things together, sorry guys, but we have to talk about boobs. Any of the women in the room ever have a sports bra roll up underneath your boobs? That does not happen when you have this system on. Everything just stays in place, just exactly where you want it. So when you're jumping, your breasts are moving with your torso, not separate from it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So 2 products, it's really just the 2 products. This is available in 4 sizes, small, medium, small through extra large. The only difference in sizing is the band, okay? So these straps are the same on every single Wrax. So a woman that's like a 36B cup would wear the same Wrax that a woman that's like a 36G cup would wear, because there's so much adjustability in these straps. So when you have them tightened down all the way, this is at its loosest. When you have it tightened down all the way, it'll accommodate a much smaller cup size. So it's great for women who are breastfeeding. I mean, their breast size changes drastically just within a day.
So you said you had a website?
Uh-huh.
How long have you had it?
A little over a year, I guess.
Are
Probably.
you selling through it?
That's the challenge, right? So I have some traffic to it. I just started doing some social media ads recently. The website has only had 1 sale convert.
Where are your customers, as far as data, where are your customers going on your pages?
I wouldn't be able to tell you without looking at it.
Well, that's something that you should go in there and really pay attention to their behavior on your website. Like if you have a page that's dedicated to education and that's where all traffic, that should be your homepage. And then from there, you know what I mean? Try to figure out where they're going first, like the first thing they do when they get there.
Yeah.
And then build your website to go to the stages that they're already.
Well, I mean, they're going to wherever the link is that I put on the ad.
And what do you have a custom landing page built for that?
I just take them straight to the shop page.
Yeah, I wonder if it should be the education page.
That's the thing about what I'm saying is like it just takes some testing, because everybody's got like kind of a different approach and a different idea of how to do all these like intricacy things, and then we get into the other part of it. That's like, the other thing that I need is I need money.
Yeah.
I mean, this costs a lot of money, so it costs a lot of money to run ads. It costs a lot of money to perfect your website, and I'm in a situation that I wasn't expecting to be in, because I took my son to Barcelona, Spain for a surgery that we didn't know we were going to have, and none of it was covered by insurance. So my son's doing well, and the money's exactly where I want it to be, but it's caused us to have a huge pivot. So
when you're doing your social media ads, how are you targeting?
I'm targeting like ages 25 to 54. I did one wider than that first, and I saw that I needed to reduce it. And then I'm doing like keywords like running and cardio and HIIT and like the activity.
I would shrink your age down even more.
Okay.
That's still very wide.
Okay.
Very wide age group. And it's A/B, I mean, that's why it's called A/B testing.
Right.
I mean, I would shrink that way down, because your cost per click is gonna be through the roof, because you're targeting such a wide group versus,
Okay.
I mean, and I don't know, it's you knowing your customer. Is 18, where you wanna start?
I mean, so this is the weird thing, like, so I know everybody's talking about you have to have your, like, really nail down who your target market is, and I don't disagree with that, but maybe I could use some help with that too. But I mean, like, how many conversations I've had even with dads.
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation with a grandpa who bought one of these for his granddaughter because she's in high school and she's mortified.
Okay.
I mean, when you're a young woman and you have bigger boobs and you're wanting to play a sport and people are making fun of you, it's not okay. It's not, so that's definitely not my target. I mean, that's, of course I wanna be available to those athletes too. So I don't know how to really nail that down, any woman anyone who's a bigger breasted woman who buys sports bras.
So follow-up question on the ads, are you running one ad with this age group and that's it?
I just started like last week.
Well, the reason I ask is because a better strategy may be take whatever, let's say you do $100
Mm-hmm.
for your budget, and then I would run 3 or 4 different ads targeting 18 to 24.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then figure out which one does best, kill all of them, invest all your money into the one.
Right, well, and I think though that also depends on what ad you're running.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's not, it
there's
takes
so many
time.
different, like,
It takes
yeah.
time you don't have.
And money.
That too.
And money, so
Yeah.
I am definitely open to angel investors as well, yes.
So this is thought, like, you could target like fitness shops too, like fitness workout places,
Mhm.
or even,
That's what, like, I'm going to Blush Fitness next
Oh.
month, and I've definitely done some of those, yeah.
and then OBGYNs.
And what?
OBGYNs, because they hear
Uh-huh.
everything. I think
That's not a
they'll
horrible idea.
open. Women are so open, they talk about everything with
true.
them. Because so if you like,
Yep.
I know a lot of local ones, so if you like talk to them,
Yeah,
they'll also influence on social media that I follow.
yeah,
And so that might be a good market,
yeah, I
know?
appreciate that, thank you. Awesome.
So what about like, some kind of shows that you can set up a booth?
Trade shows,
Yeah.
I've done trade shows. Mhm.
Okay.
I did the running event in Austin, Texas. And it's, just, there's a lot to learn. I think if I was to go back, I'd definitely do things differently. I had just gotten back from Barcelona, literally like, I think there was like 2 days between when we got back and I had to drive to Austin. So I was kind of just not I was in a good headspace, but it was just a lot,
Yeah.
it was a lot. And that booth cost $3,000.
Holy crap.
So, trade shows are great, but they cost a lot of money.
Well, I'm thinking about more local sports events.
Right.
And things where, like I
Right.
said, you just have a large number of women present.
Right, so that's why I do 5Ks,
Yeah.
and I try to find connections to different races, and the thing at Bass Pro, that's a marathon
Yeah.
experience, and that one was a lot more affordable, and I think there's gonna be like, I think it was like 10,000 people.
What's the
attending
one
that,
you
so
were
that would
talking
be
about?
good.
That's coming up, you were talking about one that's coming up, the ladies show or something?
Yeah, 4-state women's show,
Uh-huh.
that's all I know.
Yeah, so, and then I've tested that too, so I've gone to, in the Kansas City market, it's called the Just For Her event. And I've had a booth there, and I'm not really making it's, in the beginning, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a huge return on investment. I understand that some of it's just brand awareness, but, it's also frustrating when you shell out a lot of dollars for a vendor event and you don't come home with a profit, and you're spending that kind of money. So I've come home with like a tiny profit, but I was expecting that to be a lot better, like these just vendor events for women, but please no one get offended at this, but those women are not going to that show to buy sports bras. They're going to buy like crafts and
Free stuff.
pillows and stuff, like home decor stuff. Like it's just not,
Yeah.
that's not really I've discovered that's not really been a great place for me.
Well, and I don't think your customers at those those.
Exactly. I
I
mean,
mean,
there's a few, you know.
Maybe, but not.
They're maybe walking through there, but they're not there for, they're not looking for me. Yeah,
I'd rather
so,
see you spend $3,000 on, Google ads.
right, right,
That would better serve you than
right.
all of that.
And then plus the
That'd be-
travel and like the gas and all that, I mean,
Yeah.
you're killing yourself just to make it around. When you come to things like, I hear you're traveling to other 1 million cups, do you also go ahead and just make appointments with the local running shops and stuff here?
I didn't make appointments, but I'm gonna be stopping by.
You're gonna be
Yeah,
somebody.
there's one on the road right
I was
up
gonna say,
here.
I'm sure you already have a list, but like the run around,
I haven't Googled it yet, like,
Okay.
I will be, yeah.
Main
I'll
Street,
literally
whatever
Google
it
it
is.
when I'm done with the meeting and just drive straight over to whatever the running store is and just walk in with this. I've also just walked into plastic surgeons' offices,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like, hey, here I am.
Law enforcement, firefighters,
Mhm.
you have any luck with them?
I haven't really done any seeking out, there, but I will say that the one of the women's events that I did in Kansas City, I had 4 different women stop by and say that I needed to talk to the military.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they were emphatic about it, but
Yeah.
you have to be a certified women-owned business. So
Have you talked to Apex Accelerators?
not yet.
Like, for getting government certified?
Oh, maybe, I don't know. I mean, and that's another challenge, right? So I'm definitely familiar with SBDC. John and Desi is my man. I don't know if you know John.
Yes.
Johnson County. I love him. Been working with him for years. So I mean, I've definitely gotten help from the SBDC. I got accepted in the pipeline organization, so I started that last week. Customer traction cohort out of Nexus in Kansas. Like, there's all these opportunities, and it's great. Please don't miss that. Like, it's fantastic, but it's also almost so many that you don't even know which direction to face. So as an entrepreneur, when you get plugged into some of these things, or you go to a meeting and it's like, well, there's all these different organizations in the Kansas City area, and you're like, but I don't even know where to start. Like, it's overwhelming. But and I'm not saying I don't want to do that. I have talked to someone. I just don't remember. I don't remember what organization it was. And I had a meeting with them. We talked about becoming certified, and then I had a meeting with John. And in my conversation with John, it was like, yeah, that'd be good, but probably not right now. Like, your focus right now ought to be this. So it's not that it's something I do plan to do it. It's just kind of more on the horizon. Like, I need to get some traction first, some more traction.
Let's hear in the city. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say, I was trying to think of like the bases that would be close, because Kansas City, you'd be close to like Whiteman Air Force Base, right? Just a couple hours away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you have any connections, even if you don't?
I mean, I just don't know that world at all. I don't know how that stuff works. So.
Would you want a connection?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I don't want a connection. It's just, I'm just gonna be honest, like, even conversations like this, they get overwhelming because I just wanna pick a direction and go that way, Like, I wanna focus on one thing, execute, and have some success, start to get some traction, and then maybe go broaden from there. But,
Well, because I'm wondering so on military bases, they have the exchange,
yes,
okay? And so I'm wondering if you've already got like a UPC code, or you already got a barcode, and if you could just get them to put it in the exchanges, even
Gotcha.
in Missouri, you don't even have, don't waste, I don't wanna say waste your time, but maybe don't put as much time and effort into educating women, but just putting it in there and seeing, and like putting it in the sporting section.
Right.
With the description of what it is on the tag, and I wonder if you would see sales that way of just getting it into the exchanges, because especially if
it can't hurt to have it there, that's for sure.
it can hurt, but like if you're basic training, you can't leave. So like if you put on a 400 one on the military base there, it's a training post. If you're in basic training there, you cannot leave post. That is the only place you can go and shop. And so if they need sports bras because they're running around and doing stuff, that's the one store they've got. You've got a great
Gotcha.
project. Go ahead and just stick it in there.
Okay.
Your
That makes
tag
sense.
almost needs like a QR code to watch how it works, and then also some sort of graphic that's like like with an arrow up and down with breast net or whatever,
Right.
with like an X, and then like one that's like stable or some way
Right.
that
Yeah,
is
it's hard
easy.
to put it in an image, a static
Yeah.
image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some quick education that a woman can go, oh, that's what it does.
Right.
It looked to me like it was a gun holster, so when I walked in, I was like,
That's what she was
Yeah.
I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
so that, and that's challenge, challenge.
It is, and that's it. I mean, you're not the first person that's told me that it looks like a holster. What is that? Is that some sort of new
I'm like,
great
just the gun
monitor,
go here.
like thing? So definitely the education piece is a big part of it. But I'm really excited about that test from the University of Memphis. I think that's gonna, I seriously, I'm going to disrupt the sports bra industry. This is going to be big, but it's just, how do I prepare for that? It's gonna be a 6-month study. So I feel like I need to be doing some pretty intentional things right now to prepare for when that study is released, but all of that costs money too, so.
Have you been able to get into the wholesale at all?
I just uploaded, I finished uploading all my stuff into RangeMe. Are you familiar with RangeMe? Yesterday, so that's like a platform that connects retailers to brands. I have a really good friend in Kansas who has a product called Slaw Hall. I'll have to tell him he ought to come over here and present. He's fantastic, but now he's in Lowe's and Walmart's across the country, and it's because he put his product in RangeMe. So I have like one running store, and some tax stops, and that's just me walking in and talking to him. And then the running event in Austin, Texas, that's what that was supposed to be for, was to put me in front of the owners of running stores. It's almost like too big of an event. I mean, I don't know how many booths were in that thing, Yeah, so $3,000 was a lot of money to put down, and I sold product to individual women while they were walking by, but I haven't had any stores like, and I'm not done yet, I still have emails and stuff, and they have their budgets and their time of year that they make their decisions. It's not
Yeah.
like
So you're only,
Yeah.
you're only into one running store,
currently.
and how are sales of that one?
He's not selling any. It's a male owner. He's not. I don't think he's real comfortable talking to his customers about it. So that's why I'm doing an event there next Tuesday. So I'm going to Wichita, and I'm going to be there trying to get him. I'm not even having any luck getting him to promote me being there. Yeah, so when I had the conversation with him, I went to a Nexus event, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk in, so I did. I had a great conversation with him, and he ended up buying some product, not a lot, started with a few, and I think they've just been sitting on his shelf, and I hate seeing that. So I called him up. I'm gonna be down in Nexus for our graduation thing next week, so I was like, hey, what about if I come down and do an event so I can talk to women about it, and I can show it to them, and have a conversation with them, so you don't have to, or then you can see the conversation I'm having. It's not as awkward as you think it's going to be, So I'm hoping that's going to be helpful to him, but I'm also hoping people show up, because I'm promoting it, and the people that I already have following me are seeing it, but I'm trying to get his followers to see it.
Yeah.
So I don't know that he's real active on social media. So I'll just go do what I can, see what I can get done on there. Yep.
Any other questions?
I have one smile about the testing. What kind of tests are they gonna run for?
Yeah, so I had a meeting with them last week, and it was so cool. So they sent an entire proposed study, which they're gonna have women running, jumping, doing some lateral movements. And so I don't know the terminology, right? So
Yeah.
they're gonna have they're gonna have them hooked up to all these different things. And then, so they were going over the whole study with me, and they asked me if there was anything in there that asked me, I guess, my opinion on it. And I'm so glad they did, because I was like, yeah, actually, I think there are a couple things missing, because all of the things they had in it was women on their feet. And I'm telling you, burpees,
Oh yeah,
forget it.
I understand.
Mountain climbers in the plank position,
I hear it. Okay.
and you don't even have boobs, so.
Hey, that's all I understand. The pain.
It is staggering the difference. So I definitely wanted those two specific things to be tested. They're including those now.
Nice.
So it's going to be cool to see the actual scientific data. Yeah. So, well, thank you guys.